Hey guys, I'm Jonathan. I just stayed at your church this past week while we Auburn students came and did some relief work there. So I wanted to thank you guys for having us. We were very encouraged by the people that stopped by and said hello. You guys are very welcoming and very good stewards of your facility. We really appreciate what you did for us. But I was talking to Brother Ellie yesterday, and we were talking about a few things, but we got on the subject of fasting, and this story came about. It came to mind, and so I was sharing it with him and Tori, and he said it might be encouraging for you guys, so I figured I would share it with you as well. In 2018, I decided to start fasting. I was support raising for my job, and then a couple other things happened. I faced a little bit of hardship. 2 years ago, I guess it would be 2.5 now. 2.5 years ago, my youngest sister Gabrielle ran away from home at the age of 18 and married her boyfriend. And this decision was drastic. She just left the house. She disappeared. Didn't tell anybody where she was or what she was doing. And it took us by storm. It was a decision that we never saw coming, and was quite destructive for us as a family, and for her as a person, and for her in her relationship with Christ. And the relationship between her and her husband was very destructive. It was a very manipulating thing. It was not healthy, and so we knew that throughout the 2 years that she was gone, and we were praying for her almost every day, praying that she would come home. But in February of 2018, my older sister Natalie passed away at the age of 26. She had a lung disease called cystic fibrosis, and I guess the Lord saw it fit for her life to be complete, and that was also very hard. But it drew me to a point where I wanted to live my life on my knees. I wanted to live my life in constant need of Christ, in recognition that I need Christ every day. And so I was led to fast over big issues in my life. And so I decided I'm going to fast on the 7th of each month to pray for my supporters, and then to pray for my sister, and just to cover my life in prayer, and pray for the people in my church and my friends and lost people around me. And so on March the 7th, that was the first day that I was starting my fast, and I decided that I would break my fast at dinner time, and it was a cool start to the day. I got a text from my younger sister Gabrielle, and she wanted to hang out. That was very strange, because previously she hadn't wanted to talk to us at all, and so I saw God moving in that. And so we hung out that night when I was planning to break my fast, and we had a moment in the kitchen before we were eating, and the Spirit was moving and moving in her heart and her life, and He told me to ask her. He said, ask her if she's ever gonna come home, and I did, and you just saw God move in her life and in her heart, and she started talking about the hardship that was there in the house with her husband. They were living with his family as well, and so she just talked about the darkness and the restraint of that relationship, the toil that was in her life. And I hadn't talked to her in 2 years, but God was opening up her heart on this day, and she decided on that day. We made a plan that I was going to come pick her up from her house, because they wouldn't let us come visit her. I didn't know where she lived for 2 years, but she told me, and we decided that next day that I was going to pick her up from her house. We were going to leave, and she was going to come back home. And so the first day that I decided to fast in 2018, March the 7th, God answered a prayer of 2 years. He brought my sister back home, and she came to live with us, and that restored her relationship with Christ. She made an act of obedience to truly follow Christ and recognize that He is good, that He loves her, that He wants to draw near, wants her to draw near to Him. And so I wanted to share that with you guys and let you know that God loves us. He listens to our prayers, and He wants to answer our prayers. But more than anything, He wants us to see how good He truly is, how good His character is, how much He loves us, and how much He wants us to be a part of what He is doing in our lives already. And so I think fasting is a form of bowing before Him and saying, God, I want to lay down every part of my life in something so simple as food. I want to lay down and I want to fast in honor of knowing that You are great, and You are my source of nutrients. You are my source of strength, and I want to be a part of what You're doing in my life. And so I wanted to encourage you guys to continue strong in your fast and strong in your faith. Continue to draw near to the Lord and watch Him work and change your heart as you walk through this season of fasting as a church. We were so appreciative of how you guys treated us this past week, and I wanted to say thank you for that, and continue to walk in a manner worthy of your calling. Continue to draw near to the Lord as you walk through this fast and this season.